Hello everybody, this is Mark Witt and I'm in the office of Mark Matson, Matson Money today in Cincinnati. Just wanted to ask Mark a few questions. Mark, good to see you today. Thanks for taking a couple of minutes to talk to me. Hey, listen, I see you on Fox and CNBC and a lot of the news channels, and your message is just so consistent about free markets. Tell me a little bit about how you got into the investing business, the coaching business. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I actually got into it from my dad. I mean, my dad was a financial planner going back over 40 years ago, insurance and mutual funds and financial planning. And while most kids are kind of, wanting to be football stars and baseball stars, I just wanted to be like my dad, an insurance guy. So I started up doing financial planning and, using the investments that my broker-dealer recommended. And they were all actively managed mutual funds by these supposed gurus that could beat the market and do all these magical things for investors. But what I found out was true is that they couldn't do the things that they said they could do. And so the company that we have today really is dedicated to solving that investor's dilemma that investors face when they've been told things like someone can pick the best stocks in advance, someone can tell them when markets are going to go up and down, and someone has a clear economic forecast that they can use to do magical things that really don't exist.
Exactly. Now you've really felt this way about the markets for some time. Was there some epiphany that you had, or did something happen at some point in time where you decided that, again, as you said, people really can't pick the future or pick stocks? How did that happen?
Well, I think experience is a great teacher, and I always had this gut feeling that how could one individual, let's say that manages a mutual fund, know more than 7 billion people on the planet? But that was only a sneaking premonition. What really convinced me of it was that I would try it. I'd pick all these mutual fund managers that had 5-star funds that had beaten the market 10 or 20 years in a row, and trusted them with my clients' money. And they were always at the very top of the game, giving great returns. And then I put my clients' money into it, and I have to go back and apologize because these managers weren't even beating the simple market index. Yeah. And you have to be pretty naive if you are actually using real-world experience and not actually accepting what doesn't work. And then about 1991, I attended a debate between a gentleman named Rex Sinquefield and Donald Yachman. And Rex Sinquefield made this very simple argument that free markets work, that all the knowable and predictable information about prices are in the prices today, therefore only random and unpredictable events are going to change them going forward, and that supply and demand, the invisible hand, like Adam Smith said, was the best determinant of price. And that the light just was a flashpoint, and I knew exactly why these guys were letting me down and my clients down, and I knew I had to find a solution.
What about that person right now that says, oh, but it's different. It's just different now than it ever has been? What do you say to that person?
Well, that's a common refrain throughout the 25 years that I've been helping investors do this. That's a common refrain. That's the same thing they said when the tech bubble, right before when tech stocks were going up and no one thought that could ever die. It's the same thing they said when the market crashed in 2008, beginning in 2009. Everybody said, it's different. The market can't go up. You don't understand. It's a new paradigm. It's a global crash. So you hear these things from time to time, and investors have to take that with a grain of salt, because what's not different is that capitalism works. What's not different is that there's human evolution as far as technology that's growing this engine, this wealth creation engine. And the quality of life and the standard of living over the last 100 years has multiplied over 40 times. Just think about that. The standard of living, 40 times over the last 100 years. You go back 100 years, people were living in shacks, and it was sparse. They didn't have running water. They didn't have phones. They didn't have electricity in most of their houses. I mean, you think about and that's not going to stop. That's going to keep going into the future. So yes, we're having a dip right now, but it's not different. We've had wars, recessions, depressions. Sure. This is not different.
Now, as though you don't have a busy enough schedule, I understand you're in the process of putting together a PBS special. Yep. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, really excited about it. It's based off a book that I'm writing called Main Street Money. And the subtitle is How to Outwit, Outsmart, and Outinvest the Biggest Bullies on Wall Street.
You've got my last name in there, Outwit. That's
Outwit,
okay.
That's right.
That's okay. You can use it. It's okay.
And I think Main Street is very suspicious, and rightfully so, of Wall Street right now. You had the TARP program, you had the massive crash of the real estate and the mortgage industry, where many of the financial institutions had to be bailed out. You had a lot of fear, and when you see companies like big Fortune 500 broker dealers that are basically being evolved out of the system through crashes and mismanaging their own business systems, investors are very suspicious about how their money is being managed. And I identify in the book 3 basic types of bullies. The first type of Wall Street bully is the straight out con artist. Think Madoff. These guys just steal your money outright. The second kind is the prognosticator, the guy that pretends to know, have a crystal ball of exactly what's going to happen in the future, and based on their economic forecasts, you should trust them with your money. And the other one is the guru, the guy that says, well, I know what stocks are going to be best, and I can beat the market. When the reality is 75% of all active managers fail to deliver even a basic market return. And those 25% that get lucky have zero correlation about their ability to do that in the future. So the message to Wall Street is don't allow yourself to be bullied by Wall Street. And it is possible, but also don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Because owning equities globally is still the greatest wealth creation tool on the planet. Your trick as an investor has to be to cash in on global markets, capitalism and free markets, without letting yourself be taken advantage by the Wall Street bullies.
So we just got a couple of seconds. What would be your last message to the people that will be watching this video today?
Yeah. I like to keep it really basic. Number one, remember this. Equities are, stocks, the greatest wealth creation tool known on the planet. If you're watching this video, just look around you. The computer that you're having, that's capitalism.
Right.
Your house, that's capitalism. The TVs, all the things around you and surround you, your whole reality is created by capitalism. And markets, long term, have huge returns for investors who are willing to be disciplined. Number two is diversify. You can't put all your money in one type of stock or one stock. You have to diversify globally. And 3, you have to rebalance, meaning that to the extent that you can't have a portfolio that's 100% equities, have some fixed income in the portfolio, and then when the market dips, you have to sell the fixed income, rebalance into the equities, or vice versa. When markets run way up, take some of that risk and invest it into fixed income. But it's just kind of like being on a diet. Everybody knows how to lose weight, right? You eat less, you move more. Everybody should theoretically know how to invest, own equities, rebalance, diversify, but it's harder to do than it is to just say.
Without a doubt.
Without a great coach, by the way. And that's where you come in.
Oh, I appreciate that. Hey, Mark, thanks for taking your time. And again, we're coming from Mark Matson's office today. Thanks a bunch, Mark.
My pleasure. Thanks,
okay, thank you.
Appreciate it.